Enlivening Musings and the Pleasure Fairy, here to inspire more daily pleasure and aliveness into your life. Amp up your zhuzhiness. Invite your weird out to be loved on for radical self-love, enhancing your life and relationships. Go to crystalfranco.com for free and paid experiences. And it's when we're in those senses, in our senses, we are receptive. We're receptive to the sensations. We're receptive to what's coming in. And then when we're open and honoring that, we keep honoring ourselves and anchoring into more trust of ourselves. Yes. Welcome to Enlivening Musings. I'm Crystal, and today I want to talk about our senses and sensuality and the potency of all of that, the importance of all of that, how much it's been shut down through centuries. And even though it's a topic I feel I've touched on many a times, it just keeps coming up as so important. And as we've crossed the threshold into 2026, this is something that is part of everything that keeps gaining more clarity for me in my work and what I want to share and how I want to impact things. So it's a big one. Let's get into it. Our sensuality is being in our senses. And this means we are anchored in ourself. We know our own sense of self. We know our own energy. We know our own center, and we can interpret and or experience and both through our senses. Now, of course, there may be certain situations where they're dampened for some reason, whether that's from an accident or being born that way or something circumstantial like having illness that, blocks off some of our senses, right? But I'm going to talk broad, and I'm going to talk about it all as if it exists for you, and if it doesn't, just twist and accommodate things so it fits you accordingly. So our senses they pick up on information from everywhere. This isn't just from external, though that is a significant amount of the input, right? We are feeling things, we are tasting things, we are smelling things, right? And so that often is coming from the outside. However, there's certain ways that these things will happen, even tied into our intuition and picking up on different things. For instance, I have had moments where I have smelled things that nobody else could smell because of why? I don't know. It's just how my body is perceiving things, right? And it's through this sense, and I listen to it, and it pertains to interpretation. It pertains to being able to interpret what's coming in so I can utilize the symbolism of that or whatever and translate that for myself or for other people. It reminds me slightly of human design and how we each have a sense that's amplified. Mine is actually touch, so being able to move energy, feel things, have things through that sense of touch. I like having things around me to touch. I don't mind a little bit of like clutter and stuff because it gives me things to touch, right? And it fills my space, and I like that feeling. So that is actually what's amplified for me in human design. And I use that as a body worker and an energy worker. That's very real. And I have this interesting thing that happens with my sense of smell sometimes. And this happens with clients. It happens just being out in the world where I will smell certain things. And I have learned throughout the years what they mean to me. So that helps me when I'm out in the world interpreting things, and it can be used as a way to protect myself, to give myself some sort of signals of things that might be coming my way and whatnot. Some people might feel that in a physical sense, more as almost touch, like tingles up their back, or a weird gut punch, or a stomach ache. They might hear things and certain noises, attune them to different things. So our senses actually keep us really safe. And that's the interesting thing, because we tend to turn them off, and we turn them off sometimes to make ourselves safe because we don't want to feel or experience whatever it is. And yet that's what it's here for. It's to help us be safe and interpret things and to feel and to experience more. And this is where a little bit of nervous system stuff can come in, because it ties into capacity. So I want to give a little note on that, because I talk about regulating ourselves, right? And it's not always that we have to be in a constant state of regulation. That's not living. What it is it has to do with like our capacity to handle the stress, our capacity to handle more pleasure, right? So it's not about always being regulated. It's about how can we be in these senses and not have it make us shut down or make us go into some state of massive overwhelm, right? And I say massive because a little bit of being on the edge of that, again, isn't it isn't too much. It's that edge. And that's where we get to then expand. If we can't handle it, then we start to shut down there. So we have these amazing things of our bodies, of ourselves, of our beings that are our senses. And it has been shut down and shunned for centuries, which is crazy to me. And it's been brought back up to me a lot this week, part in reading books, part in conversations with friends. It's been coming up, okay? So it's lighting a little bit more of that fire of, wow, look at the world and look at how much we've been told that it is bad and wrong, and or we shouldn't have this, right? Like this goes into being woman and carrying the lineage of women, and women being crucified in some way, shape, or form for our natural state of being. Okay. And so it's important that we tune into this and claim this back for ourselves. Of course, superficially, it's easy for me and anybody to know, yes, like pleasure or thinking about anything in that realm, especially when you think of pleasure going into like sexuality and sexual expression. All of that has been shunned and locked down for so long with religion and all kinds of like patriarchal things, right, that have shut down the woman. And our senses are just exactly tied into all of that. It's completely tied into all of that because it has to do with being able to experience these things. And this is what we are good at. Naturally, this is part of our nature, is to be in our senses. It makes us magical. So I guess this is a rant. No, this is an invitation for you to really see and take notice of when you're shutting down your senses. What situations are you in where you're shutting them down? Is it out in public? Is it when you're at work? Is it when you're out at like actual events, like a lot of public, right? Like lots of people, public places, or any public place, just being at the grocery store, right? Like where and how do you shut this down? And maybe even dig a little deeper as to like what's the why behind that, and notice if that affects other things. Is it affecting your posture? Is it affecting the way you feel with the connection to yourself and your center, or your alignment in your body, feeling aligned with yourself, right? This can go so deep. And I am inviting you to turn this stuff back on. I'm inviting you to be aware of it, be aware of when you're shutting it down, and inviting you to turn it back on. All it takes is breath. You're somewhere and you're like, oop, I totally turned off my sense of smell, and sometimes that's appropriate. Like, I will say that too. I definitely turn off my sense of smell when I go in laundry aisles and things like that, because I don't want to breathe that in and I don't want to smell it. So it's part holding my breath and it's part turning it off momentarily till I am out of that environment, which takes 30 seconds or something, right? And so it only takes getting right out of that and a breath where I lower my shoulders, I open my chest, and I get back into a receptive state. So that's tied into this as well, is being able to be receptive. When we are able to listen to our senses, we are in a receptive state. We are open to receiving, and we are receiving the information. So you know what? This is actually a great little caveat. I had no intention of doing this, but it's a great little caveat because I do have something I'm excited about right now, which is going to be the Receptive Body. It's a free call because this is what I've been lit up on, is that feeling of being receptive. And it's only through talking about the senses right now and doing that myself. I just put myself in that. How do I turn my senses right back on? Oh, and that's me putting myself into that receptive state. So the Receptive Body, it's going to be a free call. Go on crystalfranco.com. It's the first thing on there. Find me on Instagram, whatever. It's going to be on February 12th. So if you want to join that call, get on that list. But we're going to be going through that, especially that softening of the front body. Yummy. So we want to turn our senses back on. We want to notice when we're not. We want to listen to that. And then move into the world and watch what unfolds. Notice how much you then can step into even more trust of yourself. You can step into even more getting into that center of yourself because you're actually being receptive and open and listening to the input that's coming in. And that listening to yourself, and if you're honoring it as well, you're just building up more and more of that trust in and for yourself. And that is amazing, and it's going to help move all of humanity forward because you'll be playing your part, aligned and tuned in to you. Yes. All right. I hope this finds you well. Please hop on the Receptive Body if you're into it and want more of this. It'll be probably about an hour-long call. And I wish you such yumminess in your life today. Thanks for tuning in. Share this with a friend to spread the love. Connect with Crystal on Instagram at @thecrystalfranco or on her site, crystalfranco.com. Enjoy.